before Christmas. I don't know about you, but what I really want to do, always every Christmas, I want to invite more love, more open-heartedness and more joy and just more connection. It's that time of year, isn't it, when we really want to dig in deep with our friends and our families and feel loved and connected and part of something greater. So what better yoga theme for that than Anahata Chakra? And for me, it's very visual, it's very physical, isn't it? Like that, just placing your hands over your heart. I don't know about you, but I get that little oxytocin rush. And you just want a Christmas bathed in oxytocin, don't you? Where you feel that real love and connection. So that's our theme for today, that idea that we can cultivate love. Yes, it's something that happens to us and we can experience it from external sources by things happening to us, but we can generate it, we can become beacons for it, and we can shine it outwards if we work hard enough to cultivate it within ourselves. Okay, that's our idea for today. Let's do our usual check-in. Find your comfy seat, reach up with the top of your head, settle into your body. And maybe for the check-in today, if it feels appropriate, you could place one or both hands on your heart. Feel into the physical body, because it's a physical reaction in some ways, that oxytocin, the production of a hormone, it's a physiological response. Maybe you can feel your heart beating beneath your hands. Take a few breaths just to cultivate, see if you can experience that feeling of love. Maybe bring to mind someone that you find it easy to love. Pets are great. If you've got pets, they're uncomplicated, aren't they? And we just love them with our whole hearts. Children. Just hold them in your heart for a moment and breathe that love in and out. And then feel it in your body. Feel it in your energy. It affects all the layers, doesn't it? Notice your breath. Breathing in and out. Noticing the space in front of the heart move and expand. How about thoughts? And is love an emotion? Certainly acts at that layer as well, doesn't it? Thoughts and emotions, what's coming up for you? And then set an intention. An example might be, I am open-hearted and loving. Or I am loving awareness. That's a Ram Dass one, you can keep that one. But your words will be whatever they are. It might not have anything to do with love. You might have something more pressing that you want to manifest today. But whatever your intention is, silently stating it to yourself 3 times now, breathing it in. As you breathe out, growing it within you. At the end of that 3rd exhale, if hands are on heart, maybe releasing them down and taking fingertips to the floor, either side of you. And then bring that love into the present moment, to feel the earth beneath you, the room around you. You are here and now and nowhere else. And bring love into that space. So it is a really deeply rooted and loving connection to the present moment. And from that space of joyful connection, we begin our practice today. So if eyes are closed, gently blinking them open. And we're going to do a breathing practice today, which we did one quite similar. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. Anyway, we've done something similar quite recently. So it's Dirga, or the 3-part breath. But you might want to, and it's one that you can do seated or lying. it can really help to connect to the breath lying down. So A, if you're feeling a bit low energy today, or B, if you just know that you connect better to your breath lying down, then come to lie down. Knees bent and feet flat on the floor if you're taking the lying down option. If you're whether you're seated or lying, we'll bring one hand onto the belly and one hand onto the chest. Lengthen the spine, maybe that little movement, we get tension in our breathing muscles, so a little twist side to side can help to release intercostals, a little arch and a little round. Maybe a little movement of the neck, warming up the torso, releasing muscles for breathing. And then settle back into stillness. And then just bringing awareness to the breath. Noticing the breath often makes it change in and of itself, so giving a few natural breaths just to let a rhythm establish, a flow reappear. And then we're going to do it slightly differently to how we did a few weeks ago. We're going to begin to direct the breath into the space in front of the heart at the beginning of the in-breath. So breathing into the heart space, let the heart expand. And then allowing the breath to travel down and expand the belly on the in-breath. And then just a long, slightly longer, slightly slower breath out. They're not massive breaths, certainly nothing forced, but just initiating the breath in that space in front of the heart. So the beginning of the in-breath expands the heart space. And then the belly expands. And then a soft exhale all the way out. I tend to notice that when I do this breath, I breathe in chest and then belly. And then quite often, the breath wants to expand more in the chest. Once the belly's expanded, then the chest expands a little bit more. Just notice if that's a tendency for you as well. It's an observation rather than an intention. I'm not saying try to stop it, just observe it. Notice if you can extend the exhale just slightly longer. Just helps calming and soothing the nervous system. Breathing through the nose if that's available for us today. And taking 3 more full mindful breaths like that. Chest and belly, breath in, and then long, slow breaths out. And then at the end of that exhale, relax the hands down and notice what you notice. And then we're going to do some gentle seated twists. So twists can be a lot for the spine, so if you know that you've got considerations around your back, then taking it very gentle, very mindful. And first things first, lengthen the spine, so reaching up for the ceiling with the top of the head. And then, I might need to move, my wall's a bit close to me. So we'll start with some shoulder circles, just to warm everything up. Shoulders, and then elbows, and then arms. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Shoulders, and then elbows, and then arms. One more time, shoulders, elbows, arms. And then we're going to just start with hands on legs and just sitting up really tall and straight again, lengthen the spine. Slide the hands up and down the legs as we gently turn side to side. Keep the gaze forward, so the head is pointing straight forwards and the shoulders are turning side to side. And then depending on your arms or shoulders or upper back, You might lift arms out wide. Now I have to move forward a little bit, so I'm a bit in the corner here. Lift arms out wide, palm up, keeping the gaze forward and just gently sweeping the arms through that twist. And then just a very gentle, see if you can lift the little finger points towards the ceiling and see if you can lift the little finger a little bit. There's one specific muscle that does that action. And apparently, I learned yesterday that that specific muscle is depicted. So Michelangelo's David has got his little finger extended like that. And that specific muscle, there's one muscle that is very specific that does that action, and it is accurate on the marble of Michelangelo's David. Isn't that amazing? Incredible artist and study of the human physique to be able to capture that. Am I just talking to distract us from the fact that we've been doing this for ages? Yes, maybe. Can we do a couple more? And can we then maybe bring the gaze along? So head turns. Gently and slowly. Couple more. Oh. And then relaxing arms down. Shoulder circles, handshake. Oh. Let the hands rest in the lap. Bathe in that glow of your shoulders, your biceps, maybe a little bit through the torso, some of the abdominals. We're going to do one last thing that does involve raising the arms out wide again, I'm afraid, but we're going to breathe in and reach really wide, and then we're going to breathe out and cross the arms over and hug yourself. So reach the fingertips as far around as you can, and then bring that gentle twist slightly faster, but with the elbows stacked one on top of the other, or as close as you can get to that. That little, sitting up tall and straight, a little swizzle side to side. And then inhaling, reaching wide, exhaling, crossing the other arm on top, reaching as far around as you can, lengthen the spine, and then that little swizzle side to side. Big breath in, long breath out. Inhaling out wide, exhaling, release the arms down. Let's just do a little gentle neck stretch, chin to chest. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. And then tip the crown. If it's in any pain for your neck, then don't. But if it feels okay, keep chin to chest and then drop right ear towards right shoulder. And then gently back to centre, left ear towards left shoulder. Back to centre, lift the head. And then we're going to come round to sit with our legs out in front. So we're going to do something a little bit different from the way we've done it before. So I think the perceived wisdom was historically that when you do this pose, you do it with fingertips pointing towards your bottom. But I think that can add strain into some people's wrists. If you've had carpal tunnel or anything like that, you might want to adjust that and have fingertips pointing out to the side. I'm going to, because I've got wrist consideration. Knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor, probably just slightly less than 90-degree bend in the knee. And then we're going to, let's straighten the left leg and have the right leg stays bent. And then we're going to press down into the sole of the right foot, left heel stays on the floor, press the hips up just gently as far as is comfortable, and then float them down. And then we're going to lift that left leg. Now it doesn't have to stay straight, it might have a bend in, but we're going to tuck chin to chest and curl towards the knee, lifting the knee towards the nose. Leg straight, more straight than it is bent. And then float that heel down. We're going to breathe in, press the hips up, right foot stays on the floor. Breathe out, float the hips down. Breathe in, left knee towards nose. Breathe out, breathe in. Couple more times. I'm going one more each way. And then swap over, straighten right leg, bend left leg. And go again, press down into the left foot, press the hips up as far as is comfortable. Exhale, float down. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. We do one more each way. And then coming back up to sit upright, give your hands a shake out, give those wrists a shimmy side to side. Really shake out any of that tension we put in there, maybe circling them round one way, circling them round the other way. And then over onto all fours. Find a nice stable all four position. Do your hair if you need to. And again, we've done something similar to this quite a lot of times before, but again, it's going to be a little bit different. So let's start by left knee. Draw left knee straight back behind you and come up onto the toes. And then press gently, so the left toes are down, right knee is on the floor, left leg straight back behind. Gently press back into that left heel. Take a breath there. And then come back to neutral but keep the toe down. And then we're going to press down into that foot and hover, lift the right knee in towards you. So pressing the hips up a little way, we're tucking the knee in and then floating that knee back down to the floor. And then we're going to draw the left knee in towards the nose. So we breathe in and we're going to lift the left leg straight back behind. And then we drop it down. We lift the right knee. Tuck it in towards the right armpit, float it down, lift the left knee up, left leg goes straight back behind, exhale, left knee towards nose, crunch underneath, inhale, left leg goes back behind, exhale, drop it down, draw right knee in. So it's a bit more confusing than we're used to, than with the version that we've done before, because we're alternating between crunching either knee, one with opposite knee down and one with opposite foot down. If those instructions make any sense to you, you're a genius. Couple more each side. Oh, I'm warm enough already. And then dropping both knees down, sliding bottom back towards heels. Let's find child's pose for a moment. Just slide the hands away along the mat. Take a couple of breaths. Whew. And then come up to all fours. We're going to stay asymmetrical. So we're going to take that left leg was the one that went back then. Left foot is going to be the one that comes forward. So step the left foot through in between the hands, coming to a low lunge. Left knee immediately above left ankle and adjusting the distance between heel and knee so you've got that mild stretch. Maybe a little rock left to right, so settle in. And then we're going to rock forwards and backwards. So left heel stays on the floor, right knee stays on the floor. And we're not sitting bottom all the way back towards our heel. We're just moving backwards until that front leg is straight. Rocking gently between the two, nice and slowly. Maybe breathing out as we slide the hips backwards. And then next time you come forwards, pausing there. And you can stay there, or you might want hands on block for additional support, or you might bring hands up to knee and you can stay there. Or you might bring arms out wide, and we're going to come back to do that arms out wide. So left knee is forward, left arm is forward, right arm is back. And then we're going to rotate again. So lengthening the spine, little fingers pressing upwards, palms to the ceiling. Nice and slowly. Feeling in, making sure that it's all okay through the spine, that everything is working for you. If it's not, coming back to a static pose, coming out. We do one more each way. And then we're going to bring right hand to the floor by the left foot. And we're going to reach left hand up for the ceiling. So we're twisting, left leg is forward, we're turning towards the left leg. Right leg is back behind, left knee is forward. Left hand reaches to the ceiling. Opening the heart to the left, taking a breath there. Floating that hand back down again, stepping the left foot back, Sliding bottom back towards heels, finding child's pose again. Forehead down, taking a couple of breaths there, letting everything settle. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Ooh. And then coming up to all fours. If you're feeling it in your wrist, you need to do stop and have a wrist circle or a shake out anytime, do that. And then we're going to take the right leg back behind. Up on toes, left knee down, gently press back into that right heel. Feel the stretch in the calf, the Achilles, maybe up behind the knee. Take a deep breath. And then draw that right knee in underneath us, nose towards knee. Press it back behind. And then drop the toe down, lift the left knee in, crunch it in, nose towards knee, drop left knee down, right leg reaches up behind, right nose to knee. Inhale, reach back, exhale, left knee crunches, inhale, right leg lift, exhale, right knee crunches. One more time, inhale, reach back, exhale, crunch, inhale, heel reach, exhale, crunch. Oh, knee down, maybe take the knees wide for a couple of breaths in child's pose before we go into the lunge sequence. So taking a breath there, opening chest and heart towards the floor, breathing. If you need to stay there for another breath or two, then do. If you're ready, then we'll step right foot forward, coming into a low lunge with the right knee above the right ankle, left leg. Maybe slide the knee back a little bit if you feel like you've not got that enough stretch in the hips. If you've got too much stretch in the hips, hop that left knee back in again, maybe get a block to support yourself so you're supported a bit higher up. Get the lunge just right for you. Maybe that little rock side to side just to ease into the hips. And then we're going to rock backwards and forwards. Right heel stays to the floor. We press the right hip backwards. Couple more times. And then coming forwards. Get settled, get stable. You can keep the hands down, or you might have hands on block if you want to be supported a bit higher up. You might climb hands up onto knee. And if you want a bit more challenge, you might take the arms out wide, press the little fingers towards the ceiling, and gently do our twist. Open and closed. Top of the head is reaching long, so the spine feels long. You've got length all the way from that left knee to the top of the head. It's quite a profound back bend down the left-hand side. Ooh, not fast, nice and slow. Matching movement and breath. Can we do a couple more? And then we're going to bring left hand to the floor, twisting towards that right knee. Right hand reaches for the ceiling. Taking a breath there. Opening the heart to the right. Oh, it's a lot, that one, isn't it? Float that hand down again. Step the front foot back. Find child's pose of your choice. So is that knees together or knees wide? Is that hands out in front or hands by your feet? Having a little wriggle and a fidget and a settle. And taking a child's pose breath. Child's pose for 2 or 3 long, slow, mindful breaths. And then when you finish that last exhale, we'll come to a high kneel. And we're going to do, again, we did camel pose a couple of weeks ago, but this is a different version of it. So coming to a high kneel, you might want to put blanket or fold your mat over underneath your knees, or if you've got a nice flat cushion or something for a bit of padding under the knees. Thighs are parallel. And then reaching up with the top of the head, we're going to, rather than taking hands onto lower back, we're going to fold the arms behind the back and come and show you what I mean. So you've got your arms folded, hands tucked inside each other like this, just on the lower back. And then reach up with the top of the head. Now we're going to do a camel's pose, but with a completely straight spine. So we're not arching backwards in the first instance. Really straighten your spine. And then we're going to come to an incline. So we're just going to take our weight backwards. So we bend backwards from the knee, but the whole of the front of the body is straight. Come back upright. So we're not folding backwards through the spine. The spine is straight. We're just bending at the knee and coming back upright. Taking a few of those with the breath. Inhale upright, exhale as you float backwards, inhale as you come back upright. You can feel the work in the front of the thighs, that muscle mass building. Oh, it's genius, this one, isn't it? Maybe one more time. Oh, yeah, you don't need expensive gym equipment. Body weight is well enough. And then coming back upright, now we're going to bring in a very gentle, very mindful, heart opening up and back bend, but not allowing it all to happen in that middle part of, that part of back that wants to bend so much. So just gently leaning back like we did before, but allowing the shoulders, if it feels okay for you to travel back a bit further, keeping the chin a little bit tucked, taking that gentle back bend, pausing and holding there for a breath. Gently coming back upright, releasing the hands, coming to all fours and taking that luxurious cat stretch as we round and stretch out that back bend. And then we're going to interlace the hands the other way. So it might help you to go back to where you were before and then rotate one hand round so that whichever one was on top is now on the bottom, if that makes sense. We're going to do the same again. So straight spine, reach up with the top of the head, exhaling backwards, inhaling upright. Two more. Oh, they're getting fiery now, aren't they? And then optional, depending on your back, if it feels right for you, taking that little back bend for the last one, and we're going to hold it for a breath. So tuck the chin, lengthen the spine, and then lift the heart space and gently take that little back bend, pause for a breath. Keep the gaze forward, chin tucked. Gently back upright, release the hands, and then come your hands to the floor, take that cat back stretch again, round the back, gaze towards your belly, press the floor away. Oh, stretch all the way through the back of the body. And then we're going to make our way up to standing for the first one. So tuck your toes. You know the drill. If you don't like downward dog, you can maybe take a couple of breaths in child's pose, or just gently coming up to stand and wait for us in standing pose. If you want to take downward dog, pressing chest towards thighs, floor away with the palms, knees soft, not overstretching down the backs of the legs. Pausing for a breather. And then once you've had enough downward dog, slowly and mindfully floating up to standing. Shoulder circles. We're going to do dancer's pose today. We haven't done it for ages, and it's a joyful, heart-opening pose. What could be more relevant a few days before Christmas? So, if you want to move so that you can put a hand on a wall or a piece of furniture, risk assess your surroundings first, don't fall on anything or injure yourself. The hand that is nearest, sorry, the foot that is nearest the wall, or just, I'm not going to say left or right, but foot that is nearest the wall, lift and spread the toes and ground down into that foot. The hand that is on the wall, obviously, is going to support you. You don't have to have a hand on the wall, you might be in the middle of space if you're feeling confident in your balance. We're going to bend the knee, that is the leg that is furthest from the wall, or the thing you're using to balance. Bend that knee and take it into its hand, so it's being held by the same hand on that side. Reach up with the top of the head. And then press the top of the foot into the hand. So you might find that brings the knee back a little way, so it's not quite aligned with the other knee. The standing leg, I would advise, especially if you're hypermobile, don't lock it out. Have it straight rather than locked and engage the muscles of the thigh, the calf and around the hip. Reach up with the top of the head and then very gently just tip forwards a little ways, might not be far. So you can have your hand on the wall for support, or maybe the hand is reaching for the ceiling. The knee that is furthest from the wall might be moving back behind, the top of that foot is pressing into the hand. So we're reaching, the heart is opening, chest is opening, so gentle back bend. Can we hold for one more breath? And then gently coming back upright, floating that knee down, releasing the foot, giving that lifted leg a good shimmy and a shake out, and then giving your hips a little shimmy and a shake, and giving the standing leg a shake out. And I'm lucky, I've got a wall on both sides, so I can just change ends. You guys might turn around to face the other way and have the other hand on the wall. Foot nearest the wall, grounds into the floor, lengthen the spine. Take hold of foot furthest from the wall, bend the knee, press the top of the foot into that hand, maybe the hand on the wall. If you don't have hand on the wall, maybe that hand begins to reach for the ceiling. The pressing of the foot into the hand helps with the tipping forward and the lifting of the knee back behind. Again, can we hold for one more breath? And then gently and slowly, coming down with control, releasing. Shake out the lifted leg, shake out the standing leg, shake out and shimmy your hips. And then let's do a bit of tapping. Starting on one thigh, down the front of the leg. Can you get the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot, the Achilles, calf, behind the knee, back of the thigh. I don't know about you, but I've got some extra bits there and they love it. A little bit of a slap. All around the hip, extra bits at the back. Over to the other side, other leg. Glutes, big muscles. Give them some welly. Down that leg, outside, top of the foot, bottom of the foot, Achilles, calf, behind the knee, thigh, and rump. I don't know about you, but I love that. You get the muffin tops. It's something feels medicinal about giving your muffin tops a bit of a massage. Increases blood flow. I'm going to say it reduces cellulite, increases all the good stuff, reduces all the bad stuff. That is pseudoscience for sure. And then gently on the tummy. And let's go clockwise. Or the direction of digestion, nice and slowly around on the tummy. Don't know about you, but I'm going to need some support with this over the next few days. Always a bit of overindulgence, isn't there? So send some compassion and love and awareness for our digestive system. And then down, back at shoulder. You've done a fantastic job. Pat yourself on the back. And the arm. Back of the hand. Front of the hand. Wrist. Elbow. Armpit. Shoulders. Other shoulder, well done. Back of the hand. Give yourself a clap. Wrist, elbow, armpit. And then ring fingers up the back of the head. Ooh, tingly. Like sparkles, like Christmas sparkles raining on your head. And forehead, round the eyes. Maybe a little massage for your ears. Let's start letting go of the year already, shall we? We've got a lot, it's always a big year. Years are big. There's always a lot of stuff happens. Imagine that you can let go. You're washing it off your ear, the shell of your ear down to the lobe of your ear, and then you pinch it off and you can just flick it away. And the same with your jaw. Any tension here, lymphatic drainage, all that stuff, drawing it up towards the ears, down, away from the ears and away. All that doesn't serve you. Yeah, last little bit on the face, a little bit around the nose, around the lips, and down the front of the throat. Or maybe, you know, if you've got a bit of jaw tension, you want to get some fingers in there, just gently, maybe just slightly opening and closing the mouth. Sending love into those muscles, letting them relax. And down the throat, rain fingers, collarbones. And then let's do some proper drumming on the chest. So I'm going to get rid of my necklace. And you might want to use fingertips, or you might want to do proper King Kong on your manubrium, your breastbone. Let's come to a mindful stand as we're drumming in our heart spaces. So softening the knees, grounding into the feet, reaching up with the top of the head. Giving our hearts a firm but gentle drumming, and then we're going to take a series of nice, slow, mindful breaths, just breathing in love, imagining a light at your heart center. You're breathing in and it glows and it grows. As you breathe out, imagine you shine it out into the world. Another 2 or 3 big mindful breaths of love. And then at the end of that exhale, relaxing the hands down, softening the breath, but keeping the glow at your heart center. And just breathing, feeling the sensations, sending love to your body. What an amazing tool you've been given. First of all, start with love for that, gratitude for that. And we're going to come down onto our mats. We're going to let's do one more pose. Let's give you a couple of poses to choose from. So I'm going to give you Anahata Asana, obviously, with our theme being the heart chakra today. It'd be remiss of me to miss this one out. And so it's heart opening pose or puppy pose, and it's quite a lot through shoulders. So I'll give you another alternative if you're not feeling quite as flexible or strong through the shoulders today as you could do. So Anahata Asana looks like this. You come to extended child's pose, and then you slide forwards with the forehead on or close to the mat, and you open your heart towards the floor. Hips are above your knees, so we're not forwards of the knees and we're not back toward the heels. Sort of there's a 90-degree bend at the knee. And we just gently open the heart towards the floor. So that's Anahata Asana. If you are not feeling that, or the shoulders aren't feeling that, you can take hair pose maybe as an alternative. So you might bring forehead to the floor and you might hold the heels or have the backs and the hands on the floor by the feet and gently roll up onto the top of the head, pressing the backs of the hands to the floor or holding onto the heels. And then you can open the space behind the heart, between the shoulder blades. So taking either puppy pose or hair pose. If you're in hair pose, so the very top of the head is on the floor, you want to avoid any strain in the neck and too much weight in the head. If you're feeling a lot of weight in the head and strain in the neck, then you can slide the head, so you stay right on the top of the head, but slide the heel bottom towards the heels a fraction, so the weight is more into the legs. Wherever you are. Just focusing on the breath for another 2 or 3 slow cycles. at the end of that exhale, sliding bottom down towards heels, taking child's pose. If it would feel nice, so I'm going to give you another 2 alternatives of counter poses. If you were in hare pose, then you might interlace the fingers behind your back and lift your knuckles away from your bottom, if that feels okay through your shoulders. If you were in puppy pose, then you might take, so like thread the needle, but from child's pose. So take the left arm out in front of you, for example, and thread the right arm through underneath the armpit. And take a couple of breaths there. So you're either in thread the needle, or you're interlace the fingers behind the back, lift the hands away. Or if you're in thread the needle, once you've done a couple of breaths, one side swapping over, threading left hand under right armpit as right arm reaches away from you. But this is child's pose, thread the needle, as opposed to all fours, thread the needle. And then, without any hurry, if you've threaded, unthread, walk the hands back underneath you, bring yourself back upright, and then get all your bits and bobs handy. And we're just going to take a couple of seated cat-cows just to really prepare the spine for coming down to lying. So maybe knees are bent, feet are on the floor, and we round through between the knees, sort of rounding the back, chin to chest, and then sliding, arching the back, leaning back a little way, and a couple more times rounding the back and lifting the chest. And then once you feel like you've eased the spine, then hands on knees, rolling back. Slowly, slowly. How slowly can you come all the way down onto the floor? And then the usual, hug the knees in and just gently allow them to fall over to one side while pressing the opposite shoulder down to the floor. Breathing there, you might straighten the top leg. The hand on that side might rest on top of the legs or hold the foot. And then gently knees back up to centre and over to the other side. Oh. Maybe straightening top leg, maybe not. Maybe hand finds the foot, maybe not. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Back to centre. Feet find the floor. Maybe pillows or bolsters under the knees. Maybe eye pillows go on. I mean, that probably happens last, right? You've probably got some blankets and cushions and kit to gather up first. You've got a drink, have a sip of your drink. If it's tea, then all the better, in my opinion. It's so nurturing, isn't it? And then get snuggly. The snugglier, the better. How comfortable can you be? And or if there's one little adjustment you could make to be even a fraction more comfortable, it's worth doing. Do it. And then beginning to find a pose so comfortable there's no desire for movement. That's our goal here. Whatever that looks like, if you've got a cough or you're feeling a bit chesty, then prop yourself up a little bit higher or find a really supported seating position. And then we'll start with 3 big glorious breaths, breathing in through the nose, all the way out through the mouth, letting it go. And again, big breath in, long breath out. Last one, breathing all the way in. Maybe there's that pause at the top. Can you sip in a bit more air? Bit more. And can you make a really audible sigh? Let everything go, sink into the mat beneath you. Let go, let go. Contemplate that intention that you set. Find the feeling of love in it, whatever it was. Rest in that feeling for a moment or two. Imagine it being. And then let it go. And then become aware of the sounds that you can hear furthest away. Not the stories or the labels, just the experience of sounds. Drift the awareness nearer to the sounds within your building. And then find the sound of your gentle, natural breath. And then welcome all of the sounds to be just as they are. And welcome all of you to be just as you are. We're going to do a glowing, loving body scan today. Cultivating love in each body part, the sensation of it, the experience of it. Maybe it has a colour, maybe it's just light or a feeling of warmth or a feeling of gratitude, whatever resonates in generating that feeling of love for you today. Starting at the very crown of the head, imagine a wave of love flowing into the body, starting at the crown of the head and then moving down through the sides and the back of the head to the forehead and the eyebrows and the eyes, eye sockets filled with love. Breath in the nostrils. Imagine the breath like love coming and going. Love for the cheeks and the ears, and the lips and the tongue and the mouth. The jaw glowing, bathed in that gratitude, love and compassion. The throat and the neck, whole head relaxed and heavy on the floor, down through the shoulders, relaxing them and releasing them down away from the ears and into the floor. Arms heavy, hands heavy, fingertips, love flowing from crown down through arms and out through fingers. Be present in your heart space. Be a ball of glowing love at the center of your chest. Whatever you do, that ball of love strengthens and grows. You breathe into it, it grows. You breathe out of it, it grows. You relax more, it grows. Down through the belly. Imagine it washing away tension from the belly and the hips and the spine. Body heavy on the floor, down through the thighs, into the knees, through the knees, into the calves and the shins, through the ankles and into the feet. And all the way out through the tips of the toes. A flow of love coming in through the crown of your head and out through your fingertips and your toes. You become a beacon of that love. It shines outwards into the world, carrying with it everything that doesn't serve you. All your worries and cares drift away. You float on a raft of love, like a pot in the ocean, Love on the inside, love on the outside. Make your next breath a little bit longer, but before you need to move, I will read a poem. The shortest day came and the year died, and everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing and dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees, they hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, revelling. Through all the frosty ages you can hear them echoing behind us, listening. All the long echoes sing the same delight, the shortest day, as promised, awakens in the sleeping land. They carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends, and hope for peace, and so do we here now, this year and every year. Welcome Yule. That's The Shortest Day by Susan Cooper. Deepening breath brings you back into the shortest day. Maybe a wiggle for fingers and toes, maybe carrying hands overhead for a whole body stretch. Maybe hugging knees into chest, rocking side to side. And then that pause, make it really heartfelt gratitude today. Maybe a smile, maybe a hand on your heart. As you say thank you to yourself for making time to practice today. You say thank you for the magic of Zoom and the technology that brings us together every week. And you say thank you for the ancient wisdom of yoga itself. And then with love in your heart, gently coming up to sit. And then we'll take one last big breath together. As we breathe in, sweeping hands wide, palms come together above your head. As you breathe out, bring thumbs to your heart. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on. Namaste. Thank you, my lovely ones. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming. If you're watching the recording and have any questions, drop me a line. Merry Christmas. Bye bye.